Honey, the girls is inside. Baby, we in the house and you already know what that mean. We finna get into my pieces. Okay? Now, I know y'all used to me being outside getting into everybody else's business. But you know, sometimes I like to come on here and tell y'all a little bit of my story. Not all the time. Every now and then we can get into my pieces, okay? Now, last time I sat down and did a video like this, we talked about how it was for me moving to Atlanta, what, you know what I'm saying, everything that happened, everything that I went through, trying to make it out here in the city. And after I posted that video, everybody kept asking me for part 2, like, when you gonna drop the part 2? When you gonna drop the part 2? Well, this is technically the part 2, but it's really the prelude. So this story is all about everything that I went through before I moved to Atlanta, how I got started with social media and everything like that. And honey, it wouldn't be me if I ain't had my tequila sunrise, baby. Get into the pieces. Ooh, honey, she's strong. But go ahead, get y'all a sunrise, have y'all a seat. Get real comfortable because, baby, we finna get into the pieces. And listen, if you enjoying the content, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Because you know I keep it coming. But let's get right into it. I feel like everything kind of started in 5th grade. That's when I really had my first introduction into social media with MySpace. Yes, honey, the girls was on MySpace. Now, I wasn't really getting into the pieces on MySpace or nothing like that. I just had a couple pictures I had posted off of this digital camera back in the day. And that was it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had a couple friends from school that I used to message on there and stuff like that. But other than that, honey, I did not know how to work no MySpace. Baby, the girls was making HTML and putting songs on the page and all that. I ain't get that far into it. I used to use my auntie phone. She had like one of them Verizon phones that, you know, it was free after 9 o'clock. Yes, that's when she used to let me get on there and I used to talk to my friends from school and stuff. Other than that, like 6th grade, that's when Facebook kind of came into play. The girls got on Facebook, you know, real intimate, real local. Even when Instagram went, because Instagram came out like the next year. I just used to take pictures. Mind y'all, I didn't even have my own phone. I just used to log into my friends' phones and stuff like that. Take me a little picture, throw me a little filter on there and post up. To me, social media back then, it was so much more simpler. Like, it wasn't really nothing like it is for me now. Now, like, social media is a job, okay? Listen, when you see me post up, baby, the girls is clocking in, okay? But no, so that was my first introduction with social media for real. Fast forward to like 8th grade. I came out the closet when I was in 8th grade. It was 8th grade, winter break. Now listen, we're not going to get into that. That's a whole different story for a whole nother day. That's when I came out the closet. That's when the girls started girling. And it's no shade. When I first came out the closet, baby, I jumped out the closet head first. I was wearing like girl clothes, but not like to look like a girl, but you know, just a little flamboyant piece. Like I used to have my color skinny jeans, a little legging here, a little mesh top, you know, just little stuff. Like I wasn't really like trying to give like trends or nothing like that. The girls was just, you know, coming out like Diana Ross. Baby, I wanted the world to know and I wanted the world to show. But, you know, I kind of felt like that's how I had to be because I didn't really have a lot of gay representation at that age. Mind you, I only really knew like a couple of other gay people in the city. And that's how I saw them dress. So I was like, okay, well, since I'm coming out now, I need to start dressing like them. So 8th grade was 8th grade. Now let's get into freshman year. Freshman year, baby. The girls was out the box, okay? I ended up finding myself a gay mom. Shout out to my gay mom. And, you know, she kind of introduced me to the lifestyle a little more. One of my uncles ended up giving me like a big ass box of clothes. Like I'm talking about, it was like buku clothes, shoes, all type of stuff. So when I came to school freshman year, baby, I had the pieces, okay? It was given like, who's that chick? Yeah, because, you know, the girls was outside, like, because I didn't care. Like, once I came out, it was like, I'm out, baby. Now, I done said it out loud. Yes, I'm going to live out loud as well. So, basically, like, I really, like, grew up gay. Like, the whole high school, I was gay. Like, everybody knew I was gay. It was no secret. First week of school, let me tell y'all, the girls was kind of bangy. I'm not gonna lie. So it was one day, right? I'm walking to my first period class. I saw this girl. She just threw her purse in her locker. She threw the purse in the locker. I'm like, I gotta see what's in that purse. I went in that girl locker, cause mind you, she didn't even put no lock on it or nothing. Went in the purse, pulled out an iPhone 4. Baby, I put that phone in my backpack, cut it off, and when I got home and turned it on, the phone didn't even have no password on it. Listen, the phone was mine. It's no shade. I know it was wrong looking back, and the girls don't steal now. Honey, you don't have to worry about me coming to your house and trying to steal your pieces. Listen, I don't steal. This was back in the day when I was poor. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted that phone bad, and baby, I got it. Mind you, I reset it. I looked up online how to reset it and all that. Reset the phone. Baby, now the girls is team iPhone. So like, this is really like my first time actually having my own like phone that could take good pictures. And baby, when I tell you the girls was posting up, and I had just got all these new clothes from my auntie. Listen, the girls was posting up. Mind you, these days I was probably getting like 9 likes, 11 likes, but you really couldn't tell me nothing. Like the likes, the comments and all that, it wasn't really a big deal to me. It's no shade. Like I look at those pictures now and I'm still living like the girls was so ahead of their time. Y'all just had to been there. But no, I did take that girl phone. And that's how, you know what I'm saying, I really started posting my own pieces. High school, you know what I'm saying, high school was a little different from me because, you know, I was really like the only gay boy at school. Like, don't get me wrong, it was other like gay boys. I went to a mostly white school. So they wasn't doing it like me though. You know what I'm saying? They was like nerdy, like theater gays and stuff like that. Y'all know what they give. I was the loud hot Cheeto girl, okay? Freshman year, I was very flamboyant. Sophomore year as well. I feel like sophomore year, I kind of upped it up a notch. You know what I'm saying? I was really getting into the pieces sophomore year with the feminine pieces. But I don't know. It was like something switched in my body during sophomore summer. I feel like I wasn't really getting to know a lot of boys because, first of all, the girls was very messy. The girls was very messy, but at the same time, like, I just feel like I lived out so loud that it kind of turned boys off. And this was around the time that I first discovered like Yo Gotti, Rich Homie Quan and all that. So I feel like listening to that music and hanging out with the people I was hanging out with, it kind of made me like try to strive for more of a trade aesthetic, if that makes sense. It's no shade, like I can never really be like tradey. But at the same time, I was more into getting new Jordans on Saturday and Levi jeans, the 501s, and you know, little stuff like that. I feel like after that summer, like junior, senior year, my style became a little more masculine. Don't trust, the girls will still the girls, but at the same time, you know, I try to butch it up a little bit. So anywho, during high school, like I always played sports. Like every year I was in some type of after school curriculum. I was on the football team. I wrestled for a year. I also did choir. I did musical theater. That's how I know the theater gays. But you know what I'm saying? The girls was very involved in the after school program. I had after school jobs. Like I worked at Hardee's. That was my very first job at Hardee's. And I also worked at Popeyes because Hardee's wasn't cutting that check. So I had to, you know, go to where the money was at. Like one thing about me when I was a kid, I never stayed in the house. I used to have to come home every day and wash dishes because one thing my mama didn't play about was me washing them dishes and coming home first. I had to get off the bus, come home, wash the dishes. Even if I had to work, wash the dishes, go to work, or either I washed the dishes and I was headed across town to see where the people was at. And I had to be home like around 11 p.m. That was my curfew. I think it like fluctuated from like 11 to 11:30, but the girls never made it home by curfew. I was always grounded because I missed my curfew. And listen, me and that curfew had beef bad. Okay, fast forward to senior year, the girls is cutting up bad. I'm still doing my choir and stuff like that, but the girls was smoking weed. I smoked weed. I hit my first blunt in 7th grade. But it wasn't like, I didn't get high. Like I was smoking the weed with the boys and I didn't know how to smoke, so I didn't get high. But eventually I did learn how to smoke and the girls was smoking weed. It's no shade. I smoked weed like from the whole high school, like 9th grade, you know what I'm saying? That's when I really learned how to smoke. And then the girls was getting into the pieces, okay? But no, like, and I used to always be at the team parties. You know, where I'm from, they had like these little parties at college apartments called sets. If somebody throwing a set, you know, it's like a college apartment house party. So the girls was outside. So, you know what I'm saying? Senior year, I'm making my way through school, but like school is not really doing it for me. Like I'm always ready to leave school. I'm always on that phone. At this point, I actually had ran through a couple of those iPhone 4s because the phone that I had got from the girl, it ended up breaking. My cousin gave me a phone. That phone got locked up. Mind you, I still have all these phones. I had bought me another 4 when, I started working and stuff like that, but she was too slow. And then I ended up getting me an iPhone 5. Now, when I got my iPhone 5, it was really on because they used to have this app called Musical.ly. It's TikTok now, but at first it was Musical.ly. Baby, when I was in school, I loved that Musical.ly app. I mean, I was in class trying to learn the little lip syncs. Like, no shade, Musical.ly had me in a chokehold. And I feel like that was really my first time really getting into video, because my iPhone 4, like, it really couldn't do video like that. But when I had the iPhone 5, like, baby, I was making Musical.lys. I was trying to go viral on there, but none of my stuff got any likes. But baby, I was still posting every day. I didn't care. Yeah, high school was tea. But let me tell y'all, honey, the girls was a little fast. So this is when I really started getting into the pieces. Now I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was on Jack way before I was legally allowed to be on Jack. It's no shade. But we're not gonna talk about all that. It was one night that I went to a set. They had a set in one of the college apartments, and it was like a Friday night. I didn't have school the next day. I don't think I even had to work the next day. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the set. I had went and I met one of my friends there. You know what I'm saying? The party was cool. We had a good time. Baby, it ain't no telling what we was drinking, because back then the girls was drinking Amsterdam, the girls was drinking Kinky, like whatever the girls could drink, the girls was drinking. It was no tequila sunrise back then. I don't even think I knew nothing about no mixed drinks or nothing like that at this point. But the girls were outside at the kickback, but the party had ran pretty late, and my curfew was at 11:30. And let me tell y'all, I didn't have no house key. And one thing about my mama, mind you, this was after I had turned 18, because I turned 18 in the middle of the school year. One thing about my mama, especially after I turned 18, if I come home after curfew, she was not letting me in. No shade, she wasn't getting out of that bed. So it just made more sense for me to just stay out with my friends, or something like that. So my friend had ended up leaving. So I'm still at the set. I ain't ready to go home. I ain't trying to aggravate my mama. I'm just out in the pieces. So the party end, and I'm like, what I'm finna do? So I get on Jack, right? And it was this dude. He was like really close by. Like he lived in the apartment. So I hit him up, we talking for a little minute, and he invited me to come over there. So I'm like, okay. So I came over there, and we hanging out, we chilling. Yes, y'all, we did get into the pieces, okay? And I ended up spending the night. The pieces was piecing too, I have to tell you, like, no shade, I am a piece connoisseur, and the pieces was piecing. But no, it was a good time. Like, we had such a good time, actually, that he ended up walking me home the next day. Mind y'all, my house was not, like, right around the corner. The walk from my house to those apartments was like a whole hour, and he walked me all the way home. I don't know, y'all, I was feeling him, man. I was. And literally the next day I went back over there, and we was in a relationship. This is like my first like real life grown folks relationship. And even though I was still in school, I was grown. I was 18. Listen, it ain't no PDF situations going on. I was grown, but he was 24. Oh, honey, the girls couldn't tell me nothing. When I tell y'all, I love that man. Like, I was in love fast, like quickly. It just seemed like everything was kicking off so good. Mind y'all, he's a Cancer. I didn't know nothing about no zodiacs back then, but one thing about me, I love me a Cancer. It's no shade. I feel like Cancer is the number one sign that can handle me. But anywho, so we going together now. Mind you, I'm trying to go over there every day. Okay, the girls wasn't trying to take no day off from going over there. You couldn't keep me from that man's house. Every time my friend would look at me, they're like, where you at? I'm at my man's house. Girl, they were so sick of that man. But you know what I'm saying? Because my friends, they all had their little relationships and stuff going on. So it was like, okay, I finally got me a little piece for myself. So anywho, things was going good for a little minute. And I say a little minute because y'all will see later on. Everything was cool at first, but it was just like, stuff was just kind of like... like mind y'all, like I said, he was 24 and he didn't have a car. But you know what I'm saying? I ain't have a car either, but I was still in school. So I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Where I lived back in Tennessee, like you had to have a car. Everybody has to have a car there. Like it's not no public transportation. It's not none of that, baby. If you ain't got no car, you ain't got no ride. So he ain't have a car, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like he was doing his thing, but he was like really, in real life, he was still trying to get on his feet. So we was probably together like a week, maybe 2 weeks. He talk about some of his friends from his hometown was coming to move with him. And I'm like, they ain't finna move in with you? Mind you, he only had like it was a college apartment. So you know what I'm saying? It's a roommate situation. He just got the room. So I'm like, where's everybody sleeping? But I'm like, okay, well, that's what's up. At this time in my life, I was very green. Okay, so he told the friends to move in. The friends move in. I met the friends. You know what I'm saying? The friends was cool, but like they was in the way. And I feel like once they moved down here, he really started to show his true colors. Like, no shade. He was acting like he didn't want to talk to me. He wasn't being as consistent as he was. It's like once the friends came down here, it was a whole different man. So mind y'all, at this time, we arguing and going back and forth because I'm like, dang, you don't want to spend time with me no more. This and that and the third. I guess it became too much for him, and he sent me a long, lengthy breakup text. And we broke up. Mind y'all, we was only together for like a month. And the girls was devastated. I was on Facebook posting pictures with Kevin Gates lyrics and all that type of stuff. Mind y'all, this was before Instagram stories even came out. Baby, the girls was broken hearted. For real. But you know what I'm saying? At this time, I'm still in school. So yes, I'm broken hearted, but I still have stuff going on. You know how I told y'all I was in musical theater? We were supposed to be doing this musical Tommy. But when I was going with him, this was around the time that we was doing rehearsals. Baby, I was skipping rehearsals. I skipped so many rehearsals. They had a meeting with me and told me that I couldn't do the musical no more. But I didn't really care because, first of all, they never gave me a lead. The girls can sing, okay? I'm still kind of salty about that to this day because I never got a lead in none of the musicals that I did. And I was in 3 musicals. I did Once on This Island, but then we did Pippin. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I understand Pippin gave what he gave, but still no lead. And then we did Tommy. No lead. So I didn't even care for real at that point. I was too outside anyways. I'm still doing school. Mind you, prom is right around the corner. And graduation is shortly followed after. I ain't really talked to him in between that time because he was out running, doing hood rat stuff with his little friends and all that. You know, I had everything I had going on with school. I ended up graduating. Congratulations. Graduation was T, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm really grown. Okay, and can't nobody tell me nothing. Mind y'all, also, this is summer 2016. The girls that remember summer 2016, y'all know, baby, it was a time to be alive. Mind y'all, not even like a couple weeks after school let out, one of my coworkers, she ended up introducing me to this guy. I was trying to talk to him for a little minute, but he just didn't have his stuff together either. Mind y'all, at this point, like, I'm still very green, but at the same time, I know that I can't do nothing with no man without no car. He ain't even got no job. Like, what am I doing with him? Like, how you don't got a job and I got a job? But anywho, I gets back on Jack and I ended up meeting this other man. Don't get me wrong, he was cool, and I don't even really want to get into this situation like that because honestly, just being truthful, this was really like a rebound situation. But we ended up getting into a relationship. I was feeling him because it was like he had his stuff more together than the other pieces that I was talking to or had been with. Like he had his own car, he had his own apartment, he had all the Apple products. Listen, in 2016, I feel like if you had your MacBook, your iPad, your Apple Watch, you was rich. So let's just get that out the way. He had all his stuff together, you know what I'm saying? He was taking me places, like we was going to the movies, we was going on little dates here and there. Mind y'all, it's summer 2016. This when Pokemon Go came out. And I love Pokemon. We went to Nashville to go play Pokemon Go. We was running around with all the people. He was doing all the things that I felt like a man should be doing. So, you know what I'm saying? We was going together. But, you know, it was a rebound situation. So, it was like my heart wasn't really in it. Like, I really still wanted my man back. But I was with him at the time. So, as we are together, my man ended up hitting me up. And now we're talking again. So I end up breaking up with the rebound guy and getting back with him. I know, y'all, I know. Because, mind y'all, at this point, it's like he's showing me that he was getting his things together. Like, at this point, now he got a car. You know what I'm saying? He still got his apartment. It's like he got a new job. Okay. Like, the money was coming in. And it was like, you know, he was getting himself together. So I'm like, okay, well, let me slide back in and give him a chance. I feel like I was more mature. You know, I had been out of school for a little minute. And yeah, so when I tell you everything was really going good at first, but I don't know, something was just kind of off. Something was off We had started arguing a little bit. We weren't really locked in like how we was the first time. Like, I swear, it ain't. What's that song? It ain't nothing like the first time. Cause baby, the first time was everything. But once it got sour, it got sour. But you know what I'm saying? I still had feelings for him. So it was like, I didn't want to let him go. So we were still, you know what I'm saying, locked in. Fast forward, he starts acting weird. Like, when I say acting weird, mind y'all, my birthday come up, my 19th birthday. I had, you know what I'm saying, had me a little outfit. I got me some custom shoes made. You know, the girls was outside. But at the same time, I'm 19, so it's like I'm too young to get in the club. I'm too old to be doing, you know what I'm saying, Chuck E. Cheese or something like that. I ain't really had no birthday plans. So mind y'all, this is my man. I come to his house. He don't have nothing for us to do. And as a kitten, that was so weird to me. Like, how you my man and it's my birthday? Like, you ain't even acting like you excited about my birthday or nothing. So it was like from that point on, it was just like, I was still dealing with him, but it was like, it's something off-putting about this situation. Mind y'all, you know what I'm saying? I guess the little facade of the new job in the car had kind of wore off because like he was giving like the same kind of broke vibes he was giving me before. But it was like he had a little more money though, but it was still the broke vibes was there. Fast forward, oh my God, I can't believe I'm finna talk about this. But listen, this is probably one of the most traumatic things that happened to me. I'm just getting out of high school. I'm really starting to get into the gay scene now. Like, I'm not like head all in the gay scene, but you know, I've met a couple girls. I've been to the gay club a couple times. I ended up finding me a fake ID. I'm getting into a couple pieces. I got invited to come to one of my friend's birthday party, his birthday on New Year's Eve. And you know, all the gays are gonna be there. Like, all the Nashville gays was coming. So this was a big deal for me. Like, this was really my first time to really introduce myself to the gay scene. So I'm very excited. But I didn't want to tell him because I felt like he was going to embarrass me because, you know, he didn't have a lot of clothes and I just really didn't want him to come. Fast forward, the day of the party come, he asked me what I'm doing tonight. I tell him that I'm going. I ain't tell him until like the last minute because I thought, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't going to be able to come. I'm getting ready to go to the party. We head to Nashville. We get to the party. The party is lit, okay? Like, the girls are outside. It was a lot going on. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like meeting all these new people. I'm having a good time. I turn around and look. Why did this nigga come to the party? I mean, he's here and he's looking a mess. I'm talking about like from the shoes to everything. He was looking a mess. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like trying to play cool. But at the same time, I kind of like got an eye out, like looking at him like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is my man. It was just like, I didn't want to have to be like, this is my man and stuff like that at this party. I didn't want to do that. Now, mind you, at this point, I'm drunk. I start to notice that I don't see him anywhere. So somebody must have tapped me on my shoulder, or I forgot how this person came to me. They was like, you got to see this. So in the apartment, it was like the living room and it was a door to the balcony. On the balcony, it was a patio, like you know, like a patio door into another room. I went through that living room door to the balcony, and do y'all not know that I look into the doors? Is somebody in here topping this man off? When I tell you my soul left my body, because I'm like, you can't be serious. I was so mad. I didn't break the door. I might have broke the door a little bit. Baby, I busted off in that room. I'm like, what is going on? Mind y'all, I can't really cuss for YouTube, but baby, trust. There was cuss words. I'm like, what is going on? The dude got up and he hit it. He hit it out the door. I'm like, smacking dude. I'm like, what are you doing? He trying to act like he just so drunk, like he just incomprehensible. I'm so embarrassed and shocked and just full of emotions. I ran out the house. I'm crying. I knew if he came, he would have embarrassed me, but I was not expecting nothing like this. This was literally the worst way to bring in my 2017. And I went outside. Mind you, my friends is calling me at this point. I didn't want to answer the phone. Like, it was just too much. But I ended up answering the phone for my gay mom. She came outside and we ended up leaving. After this, I didn't leave my house for a good week or so. It was just too much. Like, my heart was broken. Mind you, he's texting me. He's trying to apologize and all this and all that. But I don't want to hear it because, like, how could, and mind you, this is my first experience into the gay scene for real. Like, could you imagine? I'm trying to make a good impression with these people. So, you know, I could have more friends or, you know, more friends that's like me. And you got me out here looking young and dumb. Like, no, I couldn't let it go. I never let it go. I still ain't let it go to this day. But you know what I'm saying? Some time had passed. I went back to work. I started hanging out with my friends again. I did go to the club a couple more times, a couple more house parties and stuff like that. So, you know, at this point, it's like people was bringing it up, but it wasn't like they really felt more bad for me than like was judging me for the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they was laughing at me and stuff like that. But once I really like got back out there, I didn't really feel as like outcasted as I did at first. But anywho, some time passed. He hit me up. We had started back texting just a little bit. Cause mind y'all, at the end of the day, like, this is still like my man. Like, this is my first boyfriend. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm the type of person, like, when I get attached to somebody, I really just don't know when to let go. I don't. So, y'all, we start texting. Then he tell me that his grandma passed. And he want me to go back with him to his hometown, like 7 hours away, to go to the funeral and meet his family. So, I'm like, oh my God. I have to go. Like, in my head, like, I'm telling y'all, I was so green. I had to go. Like, in my head, I'm the first lady. Like, why wouldn't I go and meet the family? It's no shade. So I went. We actually had a good time despite the circumstances. Like, it was nice getting to meet his family and stuff like that. They were very hospitable. Everything was cool. Like, I loved the trip that we took down there. But it's like when we came back, it was like we was getting into the pieces, but we wasn't going together. So it was like a little gray area of where we were standing. So mind y'all, at this point, I done got me a car. Okay, I finally got me a car. And you really can't tell the girls nothing now, because I was a little bit of everywhere. But at the same time, I'm still trying to see about him. So I was pulling up over there on him and stuff like that. One day, I was walking from my house to go to the gas station. Now, in between my house and the gas station, it's like this little plaza. It was like a hair store, a smoke shop, and this little video game store where you can go in there, you can buy games. They got like TV set up, you can do gaming. Like, they got like the Xbox and the GameCube, like all the like little games and stuff like that. You can go up there and play. Tell me why when I'm walking, I see his car parked at the little game store. So I'm like, this is peculiar. I look in the window. Why is he in there on a whole date with one of my friends? Mind y'all, it's like, okay, me and the dude, I can't say that we was just good Judies, but we was in similar friend groups, and we was also in a group chat together. Like, at this point, that was my friend, and he is in there on a date with my man. Baby, when I tell you, I wanted to do something to his car so bad. I was thinking, should I pop the tire? Should I crack the window? Should I break the mirror off? But I ain't want to go to jail. Mind y'all, I have a clean record, okay? I never been into pieces like that. I ain't do nothing to the car. Guess what I do, y'all? I took a piece of gum and put it on his windshield. Like, what is that supposed to do? Like, girl, when I tell you I was so green, it pisses me off just thinking about it. Hold on, let me get another sip of my sunrise. Cause honey, we is getting into the pieces. I stuck the gum on his car, and now at this point I'm like, okay, I gotta check on this. Cause what's going on? So you know what I'm saying? So I hit him up like I want to come to his house and just chill, you know, stuff like that. So I come over there and I'm like, you know, I'm trying to get into the pieces. But he acting like he don't want to get into the pieces. And I'm like, that's very peculiar. So why are you acting like that? Mind you, so then he come out and tell me that him and dude is going together. No, y'all not. What? Like, what you mean y'all going together? And first of all, how do you think that I'm finna sit up here and let you be monogamous to him when you couldn't even do the same for me. So no, baby, when I tell you, I caused a fit off in the apartment, push the TV out the thing. I'm talking about, girl, the girls had a little rampage. He's trying to calm me down, this and that and the third. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm leaving out. He's following behind me. Mind you, he had this big ass flower pot. Like, it wasn't like a flower pot. It was like a big ass ashtray. Like rocks and like a big pot. Baby, when I tell you I picked that thing up and threw it over the balcony. After that, he was pissed. He was like, he just let me go. Then when I got outside, I got on my phone and I hit that group chat. And I told that was on site. But, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, I was really upset at the time. But I never ended up really getting into the things with the so-called friend because at the end of the day, like, it just really wasn't worth it. And I ain't talked to her though. Don't get me wrong. You ain't finna do no backdoor stuff like that to me and just think I'm finna be all in your face and No. Definitely kept my eye on her. But you know what I'm saying? It didn't take to go trying to fight her and this and that and the third. Like, in real life, I'm really not a fighter. I don't really care to fight and all that. I don't get into those pieces. I let it go. Well, I ain't let it go, but I let it rest. So mind y'all, me and dude, we still talking. We still texting. I just still cannot let this man go. But one day he tells me that he's finna move away from Tennessee. Baby, my heart drops. Mind you, he's saying he's finna move and I had just bought my car. I couldn't move because, you know, the dealership that I had got my car at, they had this rule in the lease that you couldn't live outside of 30 miles of the dealership. So it was like I couldn't move all the way out there with the car. I also had responsibilities to take care of at home because, you know, my dad, he had dementia. He got dementia when I was in 8th grade. So I helped my mom take care of him. And I still had to help her take care of him at this point. And there was just no way that I could move with him. So me being green, I'm trying to cherish every last day. I'm trying to cherish the times. Cause man, I already knew like when he left, I'm like, I didn't want nobody else but him. Like, even though he did me so wrong, like he was a good man, Savannah. Like, I don't know. It's like he made me feel safe, but at the same time, I really couldn't trust him because he just used to get into so many pieces. But I mean, at the same time, he had his own demons he was dealing with, but oh my God, y'all, it was so toxic. But yes, we spend it day in, day out. I'm trying to see him as much as I can. You know, at this point, he's in bartender school. I'm trying to help him, you know, with his stuff so he can pass his test. So when he moved to where he was moving to, he could, you know what I'm saying, have his bartender license. So y'all, it finally come to the day that he finna move. And I pulled up over there to his house to see him one last time. Mind you, it was like the day before his birthday. And I went to go see him. I gave him a hug and a kissy kiss, and that was it. When I left, baby, I must have played, I forgot what I played. I played something real sad. I swear to God, I'm so dramatic. Like, no, I did not want him to leave. It wasn't even really about him leaving. I just didn't want him to leave me. I wanted to go with him. Like, I swear, I just wanted to be in that man's sleeve. But he left, you know what I'm saying? He texted me, let me know when he made it and all that. But, you know, at first when he moved, we was talking on the phone and stuff like that, but it wasn't the same. It was not the same. Okay, so now, you know what I'm saying? I'm at home. I'm still in Tennessee. Like, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm starting to see people like 6ix9ine come out, you know, XX Tentacion and like the SoundCloud folks. And I'm like, I gotta lock in with this music. Because, you know, I always really was into the music, but it was like, I always felt like I had to go on X Factor or America's Got Talent, 106 in Park, or, you know, go to something like that to be discovered and get a record deal. Back then, I wasn't really thinking of using social media as a tool to be noticed for my talents. So at this point, I'm starting to see all these other people coming up, you know, like Jay Versace. I'm noticing all that. So I'm like, let me get this social media thing a try. So my first video that I posted, mind you, this was like 2 days after he moved. I made a remix to Bruno Mars, That's What I Like. I wrote the remix. I tried to learn it. And I went to my brother's house so he could hold the camera for me. When I tell y'all, it took us so many tries. My brother was so sick of holding that phone. But he held it. He held it down. He held it down until I got a good, you know, I got it all the way out. And that was it. That was my first video. I posted it. You know what I'm saying? It probably only got like maybe 1,000 views. Something very modest. Like it wasn't giving like what it gives now. You know what I'm saying? It was very modest, but you know, it was a start. So after that, I posted a couple more freestyle videos. I probably posted like 3 more videos. And I really wasn't getting any traction because, you know, everybody in the city already know that I rap. Like, I've been doing the music thing my whole life. Like, when I was in school, I was always in talent shows and stuff like that. I didn't really have the platform to showcase my stuff. So I'm like, okay, let me try to buy some promo. Let me tell you, no. That was a waste of money. Yeah, it got my video up to like 3,000 views or something like that, but it put my card in overdraft. I don't got time for that. Mind y'all, that's why I don't have FSNB, whatever that Walmart bank is. That's exactly why I don't have them now, because after I paid for that little promo, it put my bank account in negative, and honey, I never look back. You know what I'm saying? I'm very resourceful. I get on YouTube and I'm looking up, like, you know, how to grow on Instagram, and I watched like so many videos, and I finally found a method that worked for me. So the method is very tedious, and I don't think that it really works now. No shade. I wouldn't recommend you doing this now because it's very easy to get your page flagged. But what I would do was I followed like people that was similar to me. They had a lot of followers and get like a lot of likes in a short amount of time. So it was people like, it was this page called Best Gays on the Media. It was Rico Pruitt. It was like, you know, Arquez, people like that. So, you know, I branded myself out. This was back when I was Gay Rap God. Like, you know, everybody that knew me before the pieces and all that, it was Gay Rap God. JB, you know, my name was always JBGotit, but my at name was Gay Rap God. Because I felt like it was loud and it was to the point. Like, Gay Rap God, you know, I'm gay and I'm a rapper and I'm the god of this shit. So that means I'm, you know, I do a good job. So it just made sense for me to call myself that. So I branded myself. I put, you know, I had my content already, and I would go to those pages. Like whenever they posted, I had their post notifications turned on. As soon as they post, like within the first 5 to 10 minutes, whoever liked it, I was following everybody. Every day. Back and forth. Follow. I probably followed like hundreds of people every day. But no shade, it was working because my account was growing. I went from like 2,000 followers to 15K so fast. It was like less than 2 months. So you know what I'm saying? At this point, it's becoming a thing. And I'm following people. But I hit a brick wall because Instagram only let you follow like 7,500 people. So I had to start not just following, but also unfollowing the people too. And I was getting flagged for spam. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wasn't following back. I was getting a lot of follow backs. Don't get me wrong, but everybody was not following the girls back. So you know what I'm saying? I had to go through and do that. I did that for a long time. But it was working. You know what I'm saying? People were starting to notice me and stuff like that. And it was becoming a thing. So I was doing that. And then fast forward to October, my dad passed. And you know what I'm saying? When my dad passed, it was like very detrimental to me. Like my dad, like he took care of me from the time I was a little baby, like 3 weeks old. And then I had to help my mom take care of him. And, you know, with the dementia, it just got to the point where he couldn't do anything. So it was one day, I was actually in Nashville at his boy house. And my mama called me and was like, I have to come home immediately because it's time. And I got there, you know what I'm saying? It was most definitely time. You know, everything like that happened. So that was pretty hard for me because at the time I was working at this temp company. Honey, I had done lost 3 jobs. Like, 'cause mind you, with the temp company, it's like you could lose a job, come back, take your drug test, get another job. I had like went through 3 jobs that week. Like, it was just too much for me. I went through that later on in the year because that was in October. My birthday came around, but for New Year's, I ended up going to Chicago for the first time with some of my friends. And let me tell you, that Chicago trip was life changing. At this point, I probably had like around 20K, 22K, somewhere in there. And I actually ran into somebody that lived in Chicago that followed me. That was the very first time I ever experienced that, and it was crazy to me. Like once I made that Chicago trip, I knew that like I was most definitely on the right track. So when I tell you 2018 was a big year for me as well, because like my content was getting better. You know, at this point I'm starting to do more than just music. Like I'm talking to the camera. I put out a mixtape. I actually ended up getting my first apartment. So now I'm in my own space. I can create. I can do all this. I don't got to worry about being quiet. I ain't got to worry about nobody listening to me. Like, you know, I was in my own zone and things was going good until they wasn't. Because listen, I was so worried about, mind you, at this point, wasn't nobody making no money off social media, especially not nobody with no 20K, 30K. I think I had got up to like 30K followers. I was going live. I was acting crazy. I was running around in the streets. I was just doing anything for views. But it was working because, you know, my numbers was going up. Like everything was going good, but it was no money at all coming from that. None. And it had got to the point where I ended up losing my apartment because I didn't pay my rent for like 3 months. That's kind of leads us into the video I posted before when I was getting ready to move to Atlanta. Because after I lost that apartment, I knew I couldn't live in Tennessee no more. I had moved to Kentucky for a month and stayed with my best friend. Hated it there. It was way too country. Then I moved to West Tennessee where my mama and my grandma and them had lived. It was way too country there. I couldn't do it. Ended up moving back to Murfreesboro. It just wasn't right. And that's when I packed up my car, hit it, and moved to Atlanta. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I've been through a lot. I really have. I have been through a lot. But I feel like one thing that has always been very consistent with me is like the social media. Like it's no shade. I don't know where I would be or what I would be doing if it wasn't for like Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, Facebook. Like I've been doing it so long. Like it's literally in 2017, July 17th. It'll be 10 years since I posted my very first video. And I've literally been posting a video every day for the most part for 10 years ever since then. And you know what I'm saying? Like I worked really hard to get to this point. I feel like I have so much further to go though. But yeah, man, that's my story. I feel like I want to tell my story. I've been wanting to tell my story for a while. It's just, I don't know, building the confidence to get on here and really talk about the things that I've been through and everything like that. It just takes a lot. It's no shade going back. I wouldn't change nothing. Like every time I take a L, I always turn around and make it into something. That's one thing I can say about myself. That's my story. And well, that's the beginning. I feel like it's still one more part to the pieces that leads us up to like, you know, present day. But honestly, I don't know if I ever really tell that story on here. You know, maybe one day I'll tell it. That part of the story, it gets really wicked too. But you know what I'm saying? That's for another day, another time, maybe another lifetime. Who knows? But listen, thank y'all. If you stayed and watched the video this long, baby, you one of my real pieces. And I fool with you. If you enjoying the content, you new here, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Because, baby, you know I keep it coming. But, honey, I got to go. I might go to Bulldogs tonight, but I don't know. I'm going to see. Okay. Okay, baby. Oh.